All 14 people here. Yay! I'm so excited. I am for 2 seconds putting up a link, oopsies, on my YouTube, on my Instagram to tell people that we're live. So even if I'm not looking at you, it doesn't mean I'm not here. Really, it's been 2 weeks since I've done a live. Oh, guys, it's been so busy, like in the best way. My hair looks a bit crazy, doesn't it? Oh well, it always looks a bit crazy. Join live. I'm just putting a link so people on Instagram can join if they want. 1 second. How is everyone? Please tell me how you're doing. I'm in my normal environment back in my bedroom till tomorrow, which we'll talk about. I've gone through some crazy, amazing things in the last 2 weeks, and we gotta talk about it. Just telling you guys what story I'm putting up. Talk about it. And then I'll say, Old City has a grip on me. Wasn't expecting that. You guys are so patient. I'm literally just doing like content work with you guys. So thanks for being so patient. And then I'm going to do an arrow so that they'll click the link. Which one are we going to do? We're going to do this one. And just like that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put my phone away, make sure it's uploading, and I'm fully with you guys. Also, I am extremely encouraged to see that you guys even come here before the live even starts and talk to each other. I just think that's so cool and so encouraging to me, really. Michal is here. Armenian Shlomo. I feel like I don't know who you are yet. Nice to meet you. Joe says, gotta give notice if you're going to do a local Israeli time live since I'm in America and that's at night. Sorry. I know. This is usually I do it for some reason at like 11 p.m. my time for the most part. And so I don't know what time that is Eastern time in the States, but this is very spontaneous. Technically, I should do every 3 weeks, a live with subscribers instead of a vlog. But the schedule is very, very messy because I've been in the old city for 2 weeks. And I had the most magnificent time of my life, which I'll tell you guys about, and you guys can ask me about, and we can talk about it. First of all, I want to know how many of you guys have ever been to the old city in Israel. Show of hands. Let me know. Actually, I should probably put this in just so that there's more light. There we go. Joe has never been to Israel. Okay. Oh gosh, my hair. Oh, Aramaean. Sorry, I was like Armenian. Aramaean. Shlomo. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly or not. Have been. Someone has never been to Israel. Tereke? Not been to Israel, but not the old city. Okay. Doris has been there. Hi, Doris. Love you. Say hi to your son for me, please. I feel like I have new neighbors, but I'm not sure who they are. Yay. Edward says that they love Jerusalem. America 12412 says only place I want to go, really. Winifred says I was in Jerusalem in 2020 just before COVID struck. That's good. You avoided it. You didn't get stuck in a crazy lockdown. I was blessed to tour Israel for 2 weeks with Billy Brim Ministries. Yay. So some of you guys have been to Israel. I'm assuming that if you have gone to the old city on, let's just say, a tour, they probably brought you to the Western Wall. They probably brought you to the Temple Mount. Perhaps they brought you to the Holy Sepulchre. Maybe that you walked around the Jewish quarter a bit. Maybe you've seen the Cardo. Um, so let me give you guys a little bit of a background. I, Amir the cricket, Erev Tov Tzadika. Tzadika. Technically, it's true for anyone who is in Yeshua, but cool. So let's talk about the old city. I have spoken about this in the past. The old city and me did not like blend together. For me, the old city was like where once in a blue moon you would go to the Kotel, to the Western Wall. And apart from that, I really didn't care that much for it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful from the outside, but it was mainly just sort of like crammed. That's what I thought when I would think about the old city. It's crammed, it's hot, there's a lot of people, it's tight, narrow spaces and a lot of people, and you avoid going there during the holiday because it's, crammed with people, and that's what the old city was to me. And what happened with time is that I started to go there more and more for like field reporting or stuff like that, or with people that would want to go to like slichot. So slichot is basically like it's a period of time around the Day of Atonement, let's just say, in which you go to the kotel like at night and you basically pray during the night, to ask forgiveness, to sort of reflect and ask forgiveness for your sins and get atonement. And so I would go there, to do that. But apart from that, I wouldn't just like roam in the old city because it really didn't interest me. And then that started to change a bit. And the more I think I grew to know the old city, the more I had, is that Bunny? No. The more I had like a feeling of familiarity and a love for it. And so I started developing this different feeling towards it. And so, oh, you guys are so sweet wanting to hit the like button and all the things. You're so very sweet. Also, by the way, um, I'm wanting to tell you guys eventually where the revenue for my YouTube is going. Um, I'll do that in a second, but I am accountable to you guys because technically the revenue is all from you guys. So anything donated today through this channel will go to one specific reservist IDF soldier, a combat soldier that basically we're funding this person's therapy. So it's a wonderful thing that, we actually have a pair of eyes to see how this affects for the better this person. So I'm very happy about that. And then the rest goes to Jewish Arab relations. So just so you know, if anything is donated today, it goes to there. But I would prefer, because YouTube always takes 30% of anything you guys give, which really sucks. I would prefer that you guys go directly to buy me a coffee, and I will give you guys that link in a second because it doesn't take as much money. The percentage is much, much lower. So that is why I would like you guys to, if you want to donate, please do it only like through there. Ooh, where is it? Home. Oh, share page. Gosh, I don't know why that took me so long. But here you go. I'm going to pin this message to the bottom. Oh, look, we have a free Palestine person here. That's cool. Hi, you are welcomed here for a bit, but you must behave. You're allowed to say your opinion, but you might want to stick around for a while because we're talking about the old city. The old city is a really cool place. It has 4 quarters in a span of a very, small area. So you have the Christian quarter, the Armenian quarter, the Muslim quarter, and the Jewish quarter. And they're all in this little sort of not round shape, but sort of like a place. and I lived there. I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I'm going back tomorrow again to live to stay for a bit in the Muslim quarter. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Either way, you guys can go to the Buy Me a Coffee link, and if you want it to go specifically to this soldier, this reservist combat soldier, you can go and you can donate through that link, but specify that that's for them. If you want it to go to Jewish Arab relations, it can go to that as well. If you want it to go directly to me, you're welcome to. I'm not expecting, but it's welcomed. Thank you for your help, because everything that you guys do helps me to create content. So you guys can do it there, and it's pinned up above. Okay, onwards. So basically, talking about the old city, I didn't have an affinity towards it, and then slowly that began to change. And I think what changed everything for me was that you guys know Levy by now. Levy's my best guy friend, a real brother to me, and we basically vlogged for the first time together. We did a collaboration, and he's a tour guide with a tour agency. It's called Discover Israel Tour with Levy, and I'm going to link that for you guys. Instagram. And we went throughout the old city, and he's vastly knowledgeable, and telling all this stuff. And I guess it's sort of like uh what it did is that it created in me an even greater desire for like understanding. uh Sorry, backtrack. It helped me love the old city even more, because the more you understand about something, it's almost like a person, right? So like the more you know a person, the more you can grow to love them. And I felt like that was the old city to me. The more I knew about the old city, the more I loved. And at the end of one of the vlogs, because it's a two-part vlog, um, basically, Joe, I'll answer you in a second if Levy is a Messianic Jew. But basically, he at one of these vlogs, he interviews me and he asks me questions, and he asked, "Would you ever live in the old city?" And I was like, you know what? I've thought about it in the past because I thought it was maybe like a cool place to live in. I thought about it in the past, but I'm not sure. It had to be something that God would tell me to do, like he did with Nachlot. But I think it'd be a bit too spiritually intense. So like I'm giving this answer. And then I didn't think about it at all until just this random sort of little, I feel like it was like a seed was sort of like planted in my brain and was sort of left there until something sort of like sprouted, you know? And I was in the car with my mom going, like city center and the old city are adjacent to each other. It's basically there. And so we went by like the new gate, and I had this like thought in my head, like, what if I moved to the old city? What if I stayed in the old city? So like throughout the next weeks, month, XYZ, I start feeling that God is like putting the old city on my heart and on my mind. And the question keeps coming up. Oh, you're saying that the ads are rough? I put it on medium, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could change that now. Edit? Can I do that? Monetization, medium. Let's do low. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that I could change that during the live. Okay, guys, I've put the ads on low, although it helps the channel when it's on medium, because the more ads, the more money, the more we can give to the causes we care about. But I'm putting it on low for a bit for you guys if it's too rough. Because the point is not money, the point is to connect. But either way, there we go. Enjoy my crazy hair right now. What happened within those like weeks and months is that I start feeling that God's really putting the old city on my heart, and I'm starting to ask him, God, what do you want me to learn? Like, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to say? And I feel like he was saying, I want to give you my heart for for this place, for these people. And I had a general feeling that what would happen is sort of like, I don't know, like Yeshua looking and at Yerushalayim and saying that he wanted to gather, Yeshua as Jesus, that he wants to gather them like a mother hen like gathers her chicks, but they didn't want. And he's basically he loves someone who's rejecting him, but he's still going to fight for them. And so my understanding of what was going to happen, and I didn't know in what stages it would happen, but even before I moved to the old city for a bit to stay there, I had this sort of feeling of like falling in love with the old city, feeling heartbroken over it, wanting to fight for it in different sort of stages. So it's not like a necessarily like in chronological order, but I would feel these feelings sporadically. And so that's basically like what I started feeling. And then I basically prayed to God and I said, God, please show me where I need to stay in the old city. Tell me how it's going to like where I need to be. And I feel like God really like opened the door for me to stay in the Christian Quarter. And it was quite like a good sorry, I'm a bit distracted. He basically found me like an apartment that I stayed in the Christian Quarter. So you have to understand the Christians in the Christian Quarter, they're technically I'm not entirely sure where all of them are from. So there's like Syrian Christians there. Um, I think they're like either not Coptic Christians. I think they're Orthodox Christians for the most part there, but I'm not entirely sure. So like, but they're Arabic speakers, and so it's not like I don't know, like European Christians or something. So it was actually quite interesting to hear. Um, I love water. It was quite interesting to live in an environment where all you heard was like Arabic because for the most part, what I have on the daily is a combination of three languages. It's English, Arabic, and Hebrew, right? Hebrew is the main. But being inside the Christian Quarter, all you hear is Arabic. So that was a cool experience, and I would try to understand, their what they're saying. You can understand that I think there's a 40% overlap between Hebrew and Arabic, and so you can understand just a little bit of it. I wish I understood more. Um, so basically, I found a place in the Christian Quarter, and then everything sort of like changed from there. Before we start talking about that, I'm going to go and look at your comments. And John says, I just came from Mr. Ballin's YouTube. Let's see who Mr. Ballins is. And they raised money for Mr. Ballins. Oops, I'm not writing that correctly, am I? Ballin. Mr. Ballin. Wow. It's got a huge platform, 10.6 million. I tell strange, dark, and mysterious stories. Okay. I don't really do any of those. But that's cool that he basically they say they raised 30K for victims of crime. Is it victims of crime for I don't know entirely if it's for Israel or against Israel, but would love clarification on that. Joe asked before, is Levi a Messianic Jew? Something I've been wondering when watching your All Israel news segments with him. No, Levi is not a Messianic Jew. Um, Let me actually show you guys what Levi and I do together for my job. Well, technically my client. So All Israel News is one of my clients. And Levi, basically I like asked them to hire Levi to be tour guide and to take me to places where you're not usually going to see on tour. Some of these places are dangerous. For that reason, they're less toured, or you just don't go there. Some of these places are just you just wouldn't go there on a tour. And so I'm like, I want to go to these places. Let's get them to hire you. Let's pitch us as like a like a duo, right? So what I do is I cover like the what I'm experiencing about what he's saying, the spiritual aspect, like connecting us to the biblical locations of things that happened, right? And then Levy gives all of the actual content. It works really, really well, even though Levy and I are not of the same faith at all. We still get along really great. He's literally my best guy friend. Don't know how it happened. God literally just sent him to me as a gift, and he's my brother. Like quite literally, I see him as my brother, and so it's a great blessing to me to be able to have a brother, but also just the fact that I can work with one of my best friends and show Israel to everyone. It's like, wow, for me, this is spectacular. So if you guys want, please look at one of those videos. You can find more in the it's called All Israel Gems in the playlist of All Israel News, so you can find those. And you guys can also look at the where's my brain? At the link that I just sent. And I basically tour the old city and show like three places that you wouldn't usually see, which is the Armenian Museum, which is very, very like profound and very like just very, very cool. And then I went to the Austrian Hospice, which is a very nice place to be in, and they have this wonderful, wonderful view. And then I go and I eat knafe, which is like a dessert made of like simulina, melted cheese. They put sugar water on it, and then they put pistachio and ice cream, and they put it like on charcoal, and then you eat it. So basically, I'm touring, you know, the old city, so you guys can check those out. Um, so there we go. I love how people are answering the questions. They already know if Levi is a Messianic Jew or not. Um, Joe is saying lots of good food there, though. Yes, Israel has a lot of good food, a lot of options. Um, wait, who's Mark? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just now like reading. I feel like I missed something. Uh-oh. Guys, I'm sorry if I don't always remember your names. Don't get offended. Oh, thank you for donating. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind. From Brazil. That's so cool. I have a good Brazilian friend, and she's very, very sweet. Hi, Mark Penrose. Airman Shlomo says, I'm going to Israel soon. That's very cool. That's wonderful. Milady Michal says, Hebrew is getting better. Already have sites on Arabic next. Wow. You're very ambitious. Very ambitious. Here's our first question. So Tara K says, was the old city very intense? A lot of people in Tel Aviv told me it was a completely different vibe. Very intense. So in a way, the old city is intense, and in a way, it's peaceful. I think you have to understand, like, the way that the old city is built is that it's a let's just say that this is the old city. It has a wall around it, right? So the whole old city is a wall, and then within it, it's like a maze, but in all the four different corridors. So you just feel like you're in this massive, massive maze with very tall walls. So it's not like, there are places that are more spacious or, more open or stuff like that. So it doesn't always feel extremely crammed, but a lot of it is just very sort of like narrow and crammed and sort of windy. And then you have stairs that go down, and you have stairs that go up, and you can, it's just a very, it's a very, very, very unique place. And you have all these different religions in one place, and it can get really intense. I was with Levi and Ryan and Abby, good friends of ours. We're sort of a little friend group, if you will. And we went to the Austrian hospice, and when we came down, there was like I don't know if to say a scuffle, but I guess an Arab Muslim there probably like did something to like the IDF, like it's not IDF soldier, it was a what we would call like border police. So the border police are there to keep the peace within the old city, which is a very intense place, right? Because religions they clash. And so there was some kind of like power move from the Arabs on them, so they had to put them in their place, and like, they was getting sort of like aggressive, if you will. And that happens a lot within the old city. When we were walking that corridor, Levy's like, never mind. I don't know if I should say much of this, but like, there are unsafe people, unsafe with an F, people in the old city, and so it's just a little bit of a risk, of course, when you decide to stay in the old city. I don't feel like something bad is going to happen to me if I stay there. I think people literally think that I'm just a tourist because I dress sort of, I don't know how to describe it. They'll probably just think that I'm like this European tourist or something. I try to use all of the Arabic that I know, even if it's just a little bit, because um, it's good. It's good to connect that way. I think that language is one of the things that connects you to people. But I feel like I'm very lacking. I'm not very good at languages, but I use what I can. Um, so in that sense, the sort of personal relationships, it can be intense, but also they have relationships with each other. You know what I mean? Like there is an overlap. And there's also Jews living like in the Muslim quarter. There's yeshivas in the Muslim quarter. Um, Actually, Levi said that there are Jews in every single quarter. And I'm like, okay, because you have to like he also showed us like an area that within the Muslim quarter that the majority actually used to be Jewish. And then I don't know what happened there, but like the at some point it wasn't. And so, that's quite crazy. Um, so yeah, there's that type of intensity. Um, and then there's the spiritual type of intensity that within this quarter, there's just a lot of spiritual warfare, if you will. I know that's a bit vague and very spiritual, but that's sort of how I look at it. So, yes, to answer your question, the old city can be intense. It can also be extremely beautiful and calm and peaceful. Um, yeah, I don't know that I could live there, like as in like stay there for a year or something, because it is a very specific place. You know what I mean? Like, um, technically, if you wanted to, you could probably, like, live in the old city alone and sort of manage for, like, a long time. Because when you're in it, you feel like you're in a bubble. You feel like anything outside of the walls of the old city doesn't exist. Like, the old city's the the center, like, the apple of God's eye or something. Like, there's nothing outside of it. It's just space. That's sort of what I was feeling. Um, but it has a way of, like, sort of sucking you into that feeling. Um, so that's to answer your question if it's intense. Let's see. Um, dum, 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 dum. Oh, Canon says, I love that All Israel News series. I'm so happy. Guys, honestly, please do go and watch Levi and I have a lot of fun with the like editing. Looking forward to the other videos that we did. We went to Tel Arad and Tel Beersheva. So Tel Arad actually has two parts to it because Levi is vastly knowledgeable, and I'm like, I can't edit out all of this. I might as well just make it two different videos. So we got two for one, which is nice for us. Um, and then the next one is Tel Beersheva, and I think the Tel Beersheva video is like my favorite till now. So I'm happy with it. But please do scroll up and see that link, and then go and watch the rest if you can. Let's see. Mark Penrose, when Levi said Messiah will return, probably has people wondering. So, as I said before, Levi and I are not of the same faith. He doesn't believe in Yeshua. Um, Jews in general, okay, there are different opinions about the Messiah, who he is, what he is. Is it a person? Is it a rabbi? Is it deity? Is it all of us collectively? Is it there's one righteous, one in every generation that could be the Messiah? Like there are a lot of opinions about who the Messiah is, and so the concept of Messiah is not foreign to Jews. it is the Jewish concept, right? So it's not weird for people to hear about it, but it's sort of vague. Like, okay, so we have these prophecies that are messianic prophecies in the Old Testament. What do they even mean? And so there's a lot of different interpretations for that. With that specific video, he's there to be of my faith. So I don't think he says anything so much about it as far as a personal opinion goes. I interject what I think. That's sort of it. But I mean, I think a lot of Jews believe that there is a Messiah. They just don't believe that he has come yet. Um, just looking at your comments for a second. Wow, I'm very tired. I didn't realize till now how tired I am. You guys are so patient with me today. Um, John says, I enjoy your adventures greatly. Yay, I'm so happy. Yeah, I finally like I'm so happy in life that I get to go on these adventures. I feel very, very privileged. And I get paid to do them. Like, that's insane to me that I get paid to go on adventures. Like, what? So much fun. What's going on with people responding to this one person? Who is this person? Oh, okay. Let's just ignore the claiming to be deity in a person. That's fine. The person can be here. Um, let's see. Let's take some questions of yours. Um, someone's asking, is it cold in Israel? So it should be cold because it's the beginning of December and it's been oddly warm and it's not really okay. And then we'll have these random days of like cold and rain and wind. And so the next week it'll be sort of on and off like that. It's starting to get like cold, but it's like we'll have like heat and then it'll go down. Then like it's very weird the weather right now. I don't even know what to think about it. I actually have a filming day soon again with Levy because we do a filming day once a month. And I'm just hoping that we can do it without the rain getting to us. So we will see. Actually, I'm so confused that it says that. Never mind. So, um, that's about the weather. Let's see. Oh, sorry, guys. Princess is asking, how did you get your job with All Israel News? And do you know how All Israel News came to be and how it was started, being that it's an evangelical station? So technically, All Israel News is my client. So I am a freelancer. I'm an independent content creator and a field reporter, and I mainly do, I guess I do both for All Israel News. So I'm a field reporter. I edit. So basically, almost all of the videos that you will see from me from All Israel News, they're my edits. So like I just said right now, like all of the Levy videos, it's all my edits. The only things that won't be my own edit is like prayer points, which usually like Kayla does, another correspondent and reporter. She'll usually do it. If she's not here, I'll do it. And then if I'm doing like a massive like interview or something that I need a cameraman in, usually I won't edit those. It'll be someone else editing it. And so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I don't edit. Basically, anything I shoot myself with my camera, basically I edit. So that's sort of the what I offer to them. How it came to be, that's a more complex answer. I don't remember their whole story. I think it was founded by Yosef Maged. Um, but I don't honestly remember right now how they started. You can probably look at the website to see how that happened. Oops, let me go up. I'm taking too much time on each thing. I'm sorry. Uh, uh, uh. You guys are so sweet for being here. Okay. Are you staying in the Muslim quarter to learn more so that you can better witness to Muslims? Honestly, it's not my agenda. The reason why the Muslim quarter came up was because they weren't sure if I could continue to stay in the apartment in the Christian quarter. And in between, like when I wanted, so I basically had like a few days in between, which I was taking care of right now of my little nephews because my sister and her husband were abroad. So I took care of my nephews. And so I didn't want to pay for those extra days that I wasn't going to be in the apartment and then go back to the apartment and continue. So I wanted to basically leave for a few days and then pick it back up. And they're like, hey, we don't know if you can do half a month because I wanted to stay for another 2 weeks. Maybe you do the whole month. I'm like, I'm not going to do a whole other month. And so as that's happening, I'm like, I was actually at the Western Wall while I was supposed to be praying. I was trying to figure out what to do. And I was looking at these like Airbnbs and I found one in the Muslim quarter. I'm like, that looks like a place I want to go and be in. And it sort of felt right. And so I took it. And it just happened to be like, it's actually very hard to find places to stay in the old city. It's not super easy in a sense because it's very expensive. And this place was like relatively affordable. And so, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So basically, I sort of bagged that. So I finished today with my little nephews. I came here. I'm repacking, taking one bag or one suitcase, because I needed a lot of different clothes for filming. And I'm gonna head out tomorrow to the Muslim quarter. It's not my initial thought is not so that I can witness to anyone. It's more just so I can hear from God, His heart on more of the old city. I feel like God gave me an inkling into what He wants me to do. I'm hoping I'm going to have the proper time to actually do it because it's only a week and I have 2 days in which I'm going out to film. So it doesn't leave me with a lot of time, but we're just going to try and make it work. Either way, He gave me in the morning Psalm 48, which basically talks about Jerusalem. And there's two scriptures there, or like a few, that really like captivate me. And one of them is to meditate on God's unfailing love in His temple. What does that mean? And then the other one, if my brain will allow me to remember, he says that he'll be, ouch, something like God is is Jerusalem's security, and that He'll be their God forever. And it's just beautiful. Like when I think about this psalm, I'm like, he really does talk about Yerushalayim like that. Oh, this is what he says. He says, walk around its walls and look at its ramparts and its fortresses, I think it's called, um, or his its towers. And so I feel like God is saying, like, walk around and pray and meditate on my unfailing love. And so I feel like he's going to do that. Um, just looking at someone's comment for a second. So I feel like that's sort of what God is wanting me to sort of think and feel. Um, I'm trying. What he did tell me this morning, he said, "Don't get too deep." And I was like, "Is that actually you, God? Because it feels like it might not be you." But then I realized that what I was trying to do, because my thoughts were getting like too deep in the sense of like trying to figure out what he was going to do, what he was going to say, stuff like that. And I was getting into this like sort of like fantasy land of like what God could speak about. Um, and I feel like he sort of corrected me and said like, "Hey, like don't go there. Like if I haven't brought you there, don't go there yourself." And so I need to sort of rein in my imagination of what's going to happen because God can do anything and what he does is always way greater and grander than what I have in mind. So That's the way I think he's telling me to sort of look at it. um, Ermej Shlomo says, I have such nice stories from people I met last time I was in Israel. Amazing, kind, open, just amazing, lovely people. Oh, that's so nice to hear. I'm very happy that you've had a good experience. Joe says perhaps buy a coffee before the stream ends to stay awake. Actually, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I cannot do caffeine. Like my body will just not do it. I literally feel like my heart will beat really, really fast and I'll get like nervous and jittery and panicky and I'll get extremely, extremely confused. Like I'll feel like brain fog and confused, like like I'm gonna go into a panic mode. And I literally what I need to do is just I've never had, like, a hangover, but I'm assuming it's, like or, like, a migraine, like, if you n like, you need to, like, just, like, lie down and be in a dark room with quiet and, like, not move, that's me on caffeine, so I, like, can't do caffeine. So, I just stay tired. Ta-da. What ha Canon says, "What happened to the other news channel that almost hired you?" Oh, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So there's this person that is a cameraman, videographer, involved with like a lot of the Christian broadcasting networks here, and they were looking for like a reporter type person to sort of go and basically be a reporter. Um, and so he basically pitched him and I as like he's like cameraman, creative producer slash me doing something that's sort of similar but reporting. And he pitched it to this network, and they never got back to me. At least no one got back to me. So I just always pray that if God wants something to happen, He'll make a way for it. He'll open the door. This didn't happen. I'm sort of letting it go, and so that's it. But what has happened since then is that I've become I had a small business before. So what constitutes a business, a small business, is if you make anything below 120,000 shekels a year. Last year, I almost exceeded it, but they advised me if I could stretch it because it was like the last month and a half before uh, getting to that level. So my accountants basically said like, hey, don't like if you can stretch it longer, then stretch it longer because uh, what happens when you become like an official not an official, just like the other bracket, um, you have to pay much more money at the end of the year, like much like thousands and thousands. And that's very hard, which because that means you have to actually make much, much, much more money, right? So you have to hustle, you have to work harder, you have to like make it. And so um I am basically like I have to level up. I did sign up with a client, one for Israel to create reels for them, and that will actually give me like a decent amount of income because sometimes what I do for All Israel News isn't enough. And so I had one major client, I took out other clients, and then I was like, God, you got to help me out because I'm like, I need you to fill in this gap because I need to be making much more money at the end of the year. So it's a lot. Just really pray for grace for me. G Day says hi from California. Finally caught one of your lives again. Been a while. Hope you're having a joyful Christmas season. Thank you so much. Also, Merry Christmas, almost people, for those of you guys that celebrate Christmas. Someone asks, since Kayla's not Jewish, for how long did she live in Israel? So basically, you have different types of visas for different reasons. You have volunteer visas, work visas, journalist visas, uh, cleric. How do you call it? Cleric, clericy. No, is that the word? Clergy. That was not a word. You have different types of visas, and so basically, what Kayla has is she's a journalist for All Israel News. So she partially works for a firm, and she part time works for All Israel News. So that is how she's able to stay in Israel because she has that type of visa. Let me see if I have missed some of your questions. Robert says, "Hi, Oriel. Hi, it's nice to see and hear you." Aw, thank you so much for being here, Robert. Um, so happy to see that you guys are enjoying the videos. That makes me so very happy. Someone asked, "Do you evangelize some Muslim Arabs?" I don't know that I have so much interaction to speak to them about the gospel. The way that I show my faith is sort of like an organic way of friendship. It's not necessarily that like you're going around the streets talking about Yeshua. You know what I mean? Like if it comes up in conversation and there's an open door for that, then cool. But for the most part, it's just, maybe it's not my particular calling. Um, let's see. Mark Penrose asks, strange question, but would the Austrian hospice be open to allowing people to host a Sabbath dinner on the rooftop? It's a great view up there. I don't know. It is a great view up there. Um, but yeah, I don't know if they would. It's actually really cool. It's actually very cheap to go up there. You go up to the reception. Um, so the Austrian hospice is like a few levels. Like it's technically like 2 levels ish above the main street, which is very cool. And then you go to reception. You pay 5 shekels. You go all the way up, and you can see the view, which by the way is a spectacular view. I'll show you guys. You can see it in the video that I sent. You can see it better there, but I'm just going to show you guys just for the heck of it. Dun, 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 dun. Where is it? Um, so let me get to the place where you can actually see. Oh, it's too bright. It is too bright for you guys to see. There you go. So the view from there is just gorgeous. Like you guys can see what I'm showing you. It's mad gorgeous. Like it was a beautiful day and I literally caught it at like sunset. So I'm just showing the Mount of Olives, the Temple Mount, or the Dome of the Rock, if you will. And then you can just see all of the different corridors from above. Very, very cool. And then the lovely sunset. I literally just caught it at sunset, which made for like perfect footage, but it was also just really beautiful to watch the sunset from there. That's a very also like a good date idea. It's very romantic just to like go and watch the sunset from that point in the old city. Um, but my dream is to do like a Sabbath dinner, like Sabbath, which means Friday dinner in the old city, and I'm trying to arrange it, but it's like everyone I invited either couldn't or canceled or can't make it. So I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen. Which I'm a bit bummed about, to be honest. Like I really wanted to do a meal, and it was actually a dream of mine to do like a Sabbath meal in the old city, but oh well. Oh, today's Giving Tuesday? That's cool. I didn't know that. Am I planning to visit the US anytime soon? I don't know. I don't have technically any plans. That could be nice, but not right now. Everyone's like, looks like you need some sleep. Yeah, caffeine, not good for everyone. Let's see. Thanks for donating again. That's so very nice of you. Very, very kind. Actually, I bumped into Jeff Morgan, his name is, from So Be It. I bumped into him in Jerusalem. Like, are you the guy from So Be It? And so we talked and exchanged numbers, and he seems to be a very soft-hearted guy, so that was actually very cool. Let's see. Um, Cannon says, "Who knows? Maybe you will be a colleague of Alec Pollard at his new job at ILTV." So I saw Alec again in the old city, funnily enough, from all places, and he was with Brown Boy the Traveler, who his name is Corey. If you guys want, you can go and follow him as well. Let me find his Instagram. Let's see, Brown Boy the Traveler. So I just met Corey, who is Brown Boy the Traveler. Christian dude from the UK, is here in Israel right now, is sort of touring, getting to know people, and he's just a cool guy, soft-hearted, very sweet. And you can also see him on his YouTube. And I'm linking all these things for you guys. So Alec Pollard, the Insightful Nomad. Actually, let me also give you guys Insightful Nomad in case you guys haven't seen yet. He's grown exponentially, which is amazing. I think when we met each other, he had 30,000 subscribers, and now he has like 71,000. And he's a pretty determined guy, pretty cool. So Alec and Corey and I hung out in the old city for a bit, and I think you'll probably see Corey and myself on. Well, you'll see all three of us on each other's vlogs except for mine because I didn't vlog my hangout with them. But you'll probably see me at some point on Insightful Nomad. I think at least. Yeah, I think that you will. Um, at some point, and then Brown Boy the Traveler, Corey, you will see. You'll see him. You'll see me on him as well. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. And they're really cool people. Just I liked hanging out with them, and it was very just chill and fun. Let's see. Um, Someone's saying, "Ask one for Israel to do more testimonies, perhaps yours." Yeah, honestly, if you guys want that, go and sort of to their YouTube and or their Instagram and pitch that. Like I don't have an agenda so much, but like if someone wants to hear my testimony, I'm very willing. So you guys can go there and recommend, or I'm very open to it. Um, just wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah as well. John Boyd says, "I've missed Rotem and the news." Yeah, she's really good at what she does. She's a great reporter. She's really good at the newspaper. She just gave birth to her sixth child. So I think she's very preoccupied with all the wonders of that, which is wonderful. Um, let's see. So thank you again for your donation. You're telling me to go to sleep and need the rest. Yeah, I'll get off in a second because technically I still need to edit this video that I need to submit and I'm late on it. But I should go to sleep in a bit. I'll just take a few more questions and let's see. How is Bunny? It's been a while since he's been on camera. Yeah, because I haven't been at home so much, but Bunny's good. I'll show you guys a picture of Bunny because I think he's outside. This is little cappuccino because I'm packing again. Little fluff ball. And this is us. So, oh my gosh, let me show you guys what I came home to. Literally, I think he's just really upset. Sorry, this the computer keeps coming closer. I think he's upset that I'm not here, and so he starts acting out. And if he's left in here for too long, he just goes crazy. So that's the roll of toilet paper. He's eating out of a snack box that somehow got opened, and he completely took out one of my plants from its place, and now it's all over the floor. So Bunny is not happy that I have been away for so long. Every like week or something, I have come to sleep at home at least one night so that I can see him. Because if not, I know that he's not going to be okay. So this is this night, and then next week I'll come back. But poor thing, I know it's not good for him, but I just know that I need to do what God wants me to do, which means leaving him here. He's okay, he's fed and all the things. I think he just has separation anxiety. That's what it is. Um, let's see. Oh, the Ask Project. The Ask Project is Corey Gill Schuster. I like watching him. So the Ask Project is there's a guy named Corey Gill Schuster, and he takes questions from the public that people submit, and he only asks that, and then he basically just shows people the answers, and I think it's really incredible what he does. Someone's Winifred says in 2020 our Israel tour included a Sabbath meal with a rabbi, his wife and family. The name of the program was Shabbat of a Lifetime. It was amazing. That is very, very cool. Yeah, people do that. They'll open their house for people to feel um, what it is to have like a Sabbath dinner, basically. Let's see. I'll look at a bit more comments, and then I think I'm gonna have to go because I am tired. Yeah, someone says, I've seen pictures of you and Brown Boy the Traveler. He looks very soft-hearted. He is. Alec is also such a nice guy. He really is a nice guy. The first time I saw him was sort of like briefly, but then also the second time I saw him, it was sort of nice to just be like, it's really cool to see you again, man. Like, and he is a nice guy. So yeah, very, very cool. Bunny, where's Bunny? I don't know where he is. He's probably roaming around and just sniffing things just randomly because that's what he does. Um, let's see. So how long will this stay in the old city be? Okay, so I've done 2 weeks already in the Christian quarter, and then I'm going to be a week in the Muslim quarter. And I feel like God is teaching me just a lot about his heart on the people of the old city. If you guys want, you can go to my Instagram for those of you guys that don't follow me there yet. I really do how do you say? I try to update as much as I can through reels and stuff like that and daily stories. And so if you haven't already subscribed or followed on Instagram, feel free to. I just put the link because I do post all the time. Probably a little too much. Let's see. I'm not sighing because I'm sick of you guys. I'm definitely not sick of you guys. I'm sighing because I just need to sleep. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm just really happy that you guys are here. You always appear, like you always make it. You guys don't understand. Like my rejection of the past would tell me like, oh yeah, do not do a live because no one will show up, and yet you guys do show up. You always show up, and it just makes me really it touches my heart that you guys show up. So, oh my gosh. Oh, it's too much. It's so exaggerated, it's so dramatic. I love you guys so much. I feel like my tiredness is just a little bit contagious. Um, so recap, have been old in the old city for 2 weeks, took care of my nephews a few days. Tomorrow, with my packed bag, gonna head out again and do that. Pray, if you're a person of prayer, that God will just do in me, through me, and around me anything that He wants to do, that He'll just teach me who He is and what He feels, because that's the whole purpose of going to the old city. And just also pray for the weather because we need rain, but that also means that that sort of changes my schedule around. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and please feel free to go to all of the links and the things that I sent, because all of those people are amazing and they deserve people's attention. Okay, I love you guys. Sending you a whole bunch of kisses, sticking around just to say goodbye to everyone. You guys are the best. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.